So welcome back, everyone. My next guest is Doris Milton, and she is the owner of Healthcare Career Coach. She has been on my show now. This will be the third or fourth time that you've been on my show. And you got to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, I'm delighted to be back on. I've been in the nursing and healthcare field for more than 50 years now. And what I do is take all the different things that I've done and help other people have the same kind of dream career that I've had. Now, their dream may not be the same as my dream, but I find many people impose limitations on themselves, Carol, that they very often say, oh, I would love to do what you do, but I could never do that. And they don't take the time to think about what steps they would need to take to actually be able to do that.
Well, the first time you came on my show, I mean, you've been on radio. You've been on lots of radio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay? You love it, by the way.
I love radio.
Yeah. And you like talking about, and you like helping people.
I really like helping other healthcare professionals because they spend all of their time trying to help other people. And by the time they get home, they're tired and they have laundry and groceries and, the usual things that we all have. And they haven't taken the time or used some of their energy to figure out what they want to be doing 3 years from now or 5 years from now. So what happens is they work on all these important projects and things are very urgent when you're in healthcare. Some things have to be done right away. But they're not working on things that will help them get to where they want to be and be the logical choice. Like, for example, I think I'm the logical choice to work with people in their career development because I've done so many different things. I mean, I've been in direct care, I've been in universities, I've been in staff positions, I've been administrative, I've been employed, self-employed, I've done speaking. I've traveled as far away. I think the furthest place is Australia to speak. So I've done a lot of writing. I've done a lot of the things that they would want some guidance with, and it would move a lot faster. Certainly it's something they can do on their own if they want to take a long time to do it.
Well, here's the thing. I think people don't think about it. They don't want to think about it. It's like anything else. They put their head in the sand. They have their job. They're happy where they are.
Well, they're satisfied. They're not all just dissatisfied with what they're doing. One of the problems is, one of the challenges really, is that the position that they love doing right now might not exist 5 years from now. So many things are changing so rapidly, or the qualifications for that position may change 5 years from now. What you needed to know or what skills you needed. For example, one big one is social media. Now, when I went to school, there was never a class on social media because it didn't really exist. So we have no idea, unless we take the time to think, what will be in 5 years. For example, I read an article recently that there's going to be a great need for people to work with more seasoned folk. I don't like to call us old, like me, but things like geriatricians or gerontological nurse practitioners. That's fine, but you can't decide on Friday that that's what you want to do on Monday. You have to, there's a lot of work involved in that. Education, certifications, publications, all different sorts of things. So I first have people identify what would their dream be? What would their dream day be like? What would their dream week be like? If they could do anything they wanted, don't worry about it if the position's not created yet. If they could do anything they wanted, what would that be? Because in several cases, I've created new positions and just identified a need for something or something I wanted to do.
Well, let me ask you something. I know that you have a step, it's like a 7-step program that you have created for these people. And you said the first one is obviously what is your dream, but there's a lot more. It's so in-depth. Go ahead.
There's 7 steps that I found really get results because it helps them by the end of the 7th step to have a detailed career plan so that even if they only have 15 minutes to work on something, you can in 15 minutes think about, I wonder what I want to be doing 5 years from now. 15 minutes isn't sufficient for that. But if you have some things that you could get done in 15 minutes, you may be tired, but 15 minutes, okay, I could do 15 minutes. There was one physician I was working with, and she said, I'm so tired when I get home at the end of the day, but we identified about 10 things that only took 15 minutes for her to do that still would be moving her towards the goal. Mm-hmm. You know?
Now, I remember the first time that you were on, you had somebody that contacted you. And it's almost any person in the healthcare.
Well, I really
industry.
know healthcare. I really don't know other fields of, I know what journals they need to publish in. I know what they need to do to submit an abstract for a conference, those kind of things. And it's different from one field to another field.
Sure. Now, you're offering for everyone, it's a free half-hour career strategy session.
Yes.
Tell them what they get in that.
They're just a great deal of fun. I talk to people for a half an hour. We have a conversation back and forth to see if we can clarify what some of their general goals might be. What's their thinking? And the reason I do that is to make sure that I'm the right fit for that person. See, most people don't have anybody where they work who's done the variety of things that I've done. And even if they have, you have to be careful if you make it to public knowledge where you work. I'm thinking of leaving and doing something else.
You tell one person and
3 years.
everybody knows.
Well, you're working in an organization or a group practice. And if, like one pharmacist I was working with wanted to be a faculty member in 3 years, well, if she made that common knowledge where she worked, then she's not going to be, I don't blame the organization, but why should they invest in somebody who has no plans to be there 3 years from now? Mm-hmm. So they have to be careful who they speak with, and that person knows the different options that are available to them and will encourage them and be supportive to them and hold their hand through the development of a plan.
Now, she wants you to call her direct. That phone number is 602-944-3292. That website for her is healthcarecareergrowth.com. And, I think it's amazing because you don't think about this. I think that's the thing that most people don't think about, what they're going to do, what could happen to you. You're in these jobs and you're thankful that you have them, and you're going along. But then something's changed. Like you said, certain things that you do maybe even become obsolete.
Many of the things that I was taught to do in my basic nursing program no longer are done. And that's true in any field, but I think especially so in healthcare, Carol. It's sort of every day there's new advances that come out. We're reading articles all the time on genetics and robotics and just all different things that are going to change the future of healthcare. And we need to be prepared for that. So as I said, even the position they have that they like now, that position may not exist 5 years from now.
So when you're working with this is a free half-hour career strategy session. Maybe it's you that's in that position right now and you're listening to this going, I wonder, she's right. What am I going to do? I have no idea. She can help you find that out. Also, maybe you're listening here and you know somebody who you might want to tell them about this, because that's what I think networking is all about. That's what I love about this show. It's information for you all out there. And, just take it and do what you want with it. But, we're live on Facebook, too, so we might want to say hi to everybody out there. Hi. So, again, like us, follow us, and all of that, and I'll be sharing it later on. But, these are awesome for people to use. I know that you use ours a lot for people to see it and see it and see it. It's really great. But, again, let's talk about then back to you and who that person is and basically what you can do for them.
Yeah, the 7-step program that I use really helps them, we work together to do it, develop a detailed career plan so that they can follow it, and the plan that they have will get the results because we just identify all of the steps. For example, they have to determine what the qualifications are going to be for what they want to do. Not the qualifications now, but what will the qualifications be 5 or 10 years from now? Because you don't want to be preparing for something and then all of a sudden find out, well, I don't really have the specific certification that somebody needs. Or I've been publishing articles. This happens to people a lot. I've been publishing articles, but they're not really in the area that I want to be in. So the other interesting step that a lot of people find interesting is to figure out what are the problems or the challenges going to be in that role 5 years from now. For example, we were talking about It's been all over the news that we need more geriatricians, we need more gerontological nurse practitioners. Well, if you don't really like working with seniors, it doesn't matter how great the need is for them. There's really no reason for you to be working on projects so that you'll be ideally suited, because there's going to be a need for that. You have to find the area interesting. Another step that people find very interesting, Carol, is the last one before we do the actual detailed plan, and that is, what are they doing to sabotage their career?
A lot of people do that, and not only in the healthcare, but we're going to go to where we break. When we come back, we're going to talk further. It's interesting. I love listening to you talk, because you know what? She can help you. There's a lot of people in the healthcare industry that certainly just go along with what they're doing, and then the carpet gets pulled right underneath them. Her number is 602-944-3292. It's healthcare career coach.com.
And ready.
So welcome back. And we are talking with Doris Milton. We just heard her ad just now, and she is the owner of Healthcare Career Growth. And that is the website again. It's healthcarecareergrowth.com, not coach. So, and you've been helping so many people. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, for years. I first started in the early 90s by doing workshops on that area for the State Nurses Association. And that expanded to other people in healthcare, said, could you help me, not just nurses? And I said, yeah. And then people started contacting me when they got reorganized out of positions, or they would just be dissatisfied with what they were doing, and could I help them? And so I've refined this process over the years, and it works. It gets results. People get the dream that they want, whether it's employed, self-employed, combination, doesn't matter.
So it's a proven seven-step program. It's proven.
Right.
And it's worked for others, so it can work for you guys out there. And again, you are in the healthcare industry. It doesn't matter what area of the healthcare.
No, I work with physicians, physical therapists, nurse practitioners, pharmacists. It really doesn't matter. It's the healthcare field, only because the common core of problems and challenges are pretty much the same.
Well, when you first came on the first time, I was like, well, I don't know, Doris. I don't know what's going to be. But, and you got this guy, I don't remember what it was, somebody that was in the healthcare industry that had called you. And I think you said he was in physical therapy or something like that. And I was so happy for you, because I didn't realize what a need there is for this.
Well, people are so busy in healthcare organizations or group practices that even if they want to help someone who wants to make a change, there isn't any time, Carol. I mean, there really isn't. And then you put that together with what you were talking about, one day rolls into the next. And before you know it, 10 years has passed and they're still doing the same thing. And I found, for example, I loved direct care while I was in it. I could no more do a 12-hour shift in direct care like I used to in a critical care unit. I couldn't do it anymore. But I found many other things that I love to do. There are many other options. A lot of people today are putting together a combination that they work at one thing for 2 or 3 days a week, and then they're self-employed. They have what's called side hustle on the side for a day or two a week. They like variety, and that keeps you from becoming stuck. And you have different options.
Well, again, that phone number to call her, it's 602-944-3292, and she's offering for everyone, it's in the healthcare industry, it's a free half-hour career strategy session. She says they're great, is a proven 7-step program that she has. So call her direct and tell her where you're at. She'll help you. It's 602-944-3292. Whether it's you or someone you know. It's healthcarecareergrowth.com. So what can listeners do to see one of your programs, that you have that fit for them?
Well, the easiest way really is to call me, and we can do this career strategy session, because some people like working with me on one-to-one, but I'm also almost finished developing an online program that people could do that and at least get started that way. Some people like to put together a group of people in their practice or where they work. It doesn't matter to me. The program is the same no matter what. The steps are the same no matter what. And I've seen lots of people get results by going through that process because it leads to a detailed career plan that they can follow, that they almost don't even have to think about. They just have to work away, chipping away on it. And they have time frames and deadlines, and I'm there to support them. So, I guess I want everybody to have their dream career. Why get up every day and go into work and you're just satisfied? Why not be excited about what you get to do?
Well, sure. But again, there's some people that need, obviously, you need because something happened where they don't no longer need you in this field anymore. You get transferred somewhere that you don't like. I mean, there's
you get a new boss you don't like.
Oh my God! How many people have had that happen?
Hey,
right?
We could talk for another couple of hours about that.
Right.
But those things happen, and that's just part of life. And people's circumstances change. They have children or they have elderly parents that they need to care for, and so they need to make changes. They don't necessarily want to give up totally what they're doing, but they need to make some changes.
Well, that just brought up in my mind, like, let's say somebody has to move. Can you still help them, let's say, with their dream and the 7-step proven program that you have, and let's say help them when they say, okay, you're going to be moving, and let's say they know a year from now or what have you. Can you help them too?
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons I've developed the online program, is so I can help people no matter where they are. I've done online teaching in nursing and healthcare since the early 90s. So I'm very comfortable online. I'm very comfortable on Zoom, meeting people. It doesn't have to be face-to-face. In fact, most of the people I work with, it's over the phone or via Zoom because their schedules are busy.
Sure.
They don't have time to set up a one-to-one meeting all the time, or we do a concentrated burst of activity working on the plan.
Now, she would like you to call her. The phone number is 602-944-3292. Her website is healthcarecareergrowth.com. And, I'm going to let you also call in here, too, though. I mean, if you want to call throughout the rest of the show, because then they won't hear the number anymore. Okay. But if you want to, you can call throughout the rest of the show. Sometimes people don't do things right away. Our number here is 602-277-5369. This is a free half-hour career strategy session for people in the healthcare industry. So, okay, what would you want? We're with everyone with all that we've been talking about, for some things maybe that you want to get out that people would not know. For instance, about your program.
Well, about the program is that it is 7 steps and we take them sequentially. The one I started to mention before the break that usually surprises people is identifying what things they've done or could easily do to sabotage their career. A lot of people get lots of education and they say, well, that education didn't help me, or I published lots of things and it didn't help me. And they do different things to sabotage the fine work that they've done, and everybody is different in the things that they do. Like one time where I was working, I criticized a program that was ongoing at that facility. And I said, I would love to get the opportunity to redo it. And there was a strange look on the woman's face. And she said, well, yeah, I guess we could revamp that. And I didn't find out till later, open mouth, insert foot. She was the one who developed that program. So here I am. I didn't know. And I had sabotaged really my own success by being critical of it. And I think we all do different things like that. Another thing that people do is not pay attention to detail. They think that certain things just don't matter. It's not important that I get this perfect. Certain things, like I've been on review committees for grant proposals. If people don't pay attention to detail, I'm not sure we want to give them $100,000 for their project, if they don't pay attention to detail. So you look for signs of whether or not they pay attention to detail. There's a lot of people who align themselves with inappropriate people at work, in work settings. And so they may align themselves with a person who's not very much in favor or has already sabotaged their own career. So, but everybody does different things. We all do something. So we all do different things.
I know I do.
Well, everybody does. You're not alone.
Right.
So there's just different things that people, if they can identify them, then they don't necessarily have to do them anymore if you're aware of them.
So of your recent, because you've been doing this for a very long time, recently, who would you say want to tell a success story?
Well, I've had many success stories. I've had many people come up to me and say, and this is becoming more and more common, I'd love to be self-employed. I don't want to count totally or at all on an organization to employ me because there are many changes coming up. I'm getting a number of people who are getting close to retirement, in quotes, but they don't want to retire. They might want to leave the position that they're in now, but they still want to, like me, be doing something.
Sure.
And I've been very successful with helping them identify something that they might even be able to do a day or two a week. It doesn't have to be full time.
Sure. I think there's a lot of people out there in the healthcare field, especially that listen to this show, that are in that age group that might be dealing with that.
Yeah, and there are also a number of people who have so much in their heads who can really transmit that to a lot of people who are just beginning. So learning how to teach online, how you get to be a faculty member, what kind of things you need to do. It just makes it like I spoke with one person last week, and she wants to be an online faculty member.
Well, there's a lot of people in this industry. Again,
Yeah.
it's the healthcare industry, and she helps you. Don't put your head in the sand. This is something that
Right.
comes up all the time. She has a 7-step proven system that she knows can help you. Again, her number is 602-944-3292.